and welcome to the Pandemic Diary 2020. We're here live at 11 a.m. in the UK. You may be watching from further afield. One of our guests is from the USA and it's not even 6 a.m. there yet. We have the amazing Samuel Archer. He's a celebrated songwriter, arranger, music producer, recording engineer, filmmaker, author, and so much more. And we're really excited to welcome Samuel Archer to our diary episode today. And also joining us, we will have Tony G, MBE, and Joanna. And they're a couple, and they are what I would call a power couple. So a husband and wife team from Plymouth, and they are the co-founders of The Street Factory, which we're going to hear lots about. This has been going on for 14 years, changing the lives of lots and lots of young people. Really exciting guests, and please welcome the lovely Joan Achong, my beautiful co-host.
Thank you, Elmi. Thank you so much for that wonderful introductory. We're going to have fun today, everyone. Emily and I were bubbling and talking and just getting on really fabulous with our guests today. So lovely to have them. And you need to take this time now to like, click, and share. Please share the links, communicate with us, tell us what we're doing right and what we could improve on. And I want everyone to enjoy the show. Today we've got a smashing lineup and it's off to Emily. Have fun today, folks. Join us at the Pandemic Diary 2020.
Oh, it's going to be a good one. Welcome, Samuel. Welcome, Joe and Toby. Hello.
Hey.
Joe
Good morning.
and Toby, how are we feeling today?
Feeling good. Yes, very good.
Really good. Nice and sunny today. So yes, feeling very good.
It's very quiet where you are, but you have 6 children. Where are they?
They're all in different rooms. We are very lucky. We've got quite a big house and they've all got their own bedrooms. So we've said to them that we're on the podcast, so that could they please be quiet, and they've agreed.
Yes, keep out. Samuel, how are you? Thank you for joining us all the way from the big USA.
Hi. I'm doing very good. It's very quiet here too. This time of the morning, it's definitely going to be kind of quiet. So people might be in the house like, oh, what's going on with him? But I'm good. I'm good though. Everything is good. I have my coffee here, and I might rub my eyes once and twice, but I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we really appreciate you joining us at such early hours as well. So thank you. So tell us a bit more about yourself, please, Samuel. There's so much that we could explore, but how would you describe yourself and what you do for our viewers?
That's a really good question. How do I describe myself? I'm a creative. I have a little bit of visionary attributes, and I do a lot of thinking. And I spend a lot of time thinking, how can I bring this into reality? How can I put this on a stage, or how can I put it on a piece of paper, or how could I put it in a song, or how could I put it in maybe there's a movie somewhere I need to put it in. So, but I'm a regular guy. Grew up in Tobago, Mount Pleasant Village. Started my music journey there, and a major part of my life journey there. And got a lot of licks. Pelt mango, ran across the street, and had a lot of fun. And I'm happy that Toby and Joanna are on, because I started breakdancing in the early 80s. And I was really fit then. I'm not fit like that anymore, but I would do things like windmills and head spins and backspin and helicopter moves and all of that. My back was really in check those days. Started piano lessons around the age of 5. And I started doing a couple of the teachers in Tobago worked with me on piano. So piano is my main instrument, keyboards, and then I got into production, and somehow I started writing a book, and it took like almost forever, and I finally got it released last year. So perseverance is a good thing, and I think one of the things I've been blessed with is to persevere and stay focused most of the times. I can't do, you can't be focused all the time. but most of the times I'll be focused. And so in terms of music, I've worked with a lot of different people, choirs, and I'm a music minister for a church presently. So I work with the praise team and all that good stuff. Is that a good amount of
Ooh,
data right there?
yeah, that's amazing.
You threw a, sorry, you threw a book at us. What's the name of the book, and where can we get
Oh,
it? What's the name of the book?
I'll say the book is called Hybrid Executive, and it's available. The ebook version is available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and there's a lot of different sites. Pretty much the book is based on the music industry, um, but it has a lot more to do with how to prepare your mind. So it's more of a mind freeing up type of a book. So I'm not telling you how to write a song or how to produce a song or how to, it's not that sort of a thing. You could go on YouTube and find out how to do that. But in terms of how to prepare your mind, how to see the different angles, the different opportunities, life has a way of showing you snapshots of an area um, you can actually go into to use the advantage for yourself. When you're building your brand or when you're trying to bring your dream to reality. So instead of putting a dollar sign to every time you think about something, don't worry about the dollar sign. Just think about it. And once you remove things like a dollar sign and all the different things that aren't really important, and you can pull all the fuzziness away and really focus on what it is you're looking at, the universe will find a way to create a way for that to come to fruition. But it's really more about confidence, management, leadership, self-efficacy. Um, but I do talk about I sprinkle some experiences in the book as well, because I've also had to deal with um, some misfortunes here and there. So, I took all of that and put it in the book as well. I had some victories, so I, put all of that in there. So it makes it uh, a nice meal, if you like, I don't know what your favorite dish might be, but whatever that might be, then think about my book.
I see you've worked with you have got a lot of music credits to your name.
Yeah.
B2K, the group B2K, and you also worked with Angie Dickens, the modeling agency, on that show. What were your contributions?
Okay.
Tell us
So for
about the
that,
experience.
okay, I belong to a music library.
Mhm.
So I didn't deal with the Dickens show directly. So what happens, their music supervisor will go to the library and they would, listen to samples of music. And then some of my music was chosen to be the underlining music in the show. So it was that show and a couple other shows like Flip This House and Dr. 90210 and a lot of, actually they're still using the music today. So I'm not really directly part of their production team, but I guess the music was good enough that they wanted to choose it and use it in their production.
Yeah.
But
And this is
B2K,
something. Uh-huh.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
No,
B2K was
you
a
go
different
ahead.
situation. Um, B2K was the guy that hooked me up with B2K. His name is David McPherson. He used to work at Jive Records back in the day. And I went on tour with a band or something. I came back and he was not at, was he still at Jive? No, he wasn't at Jive anymore. I think he was he ended up being at Sony Music. And so when they had this group, that was signed to Sony, B2K, he said, hey, this song that you submitted, I'd like to submit it to the group. And they submitted, it's a song called Baby Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And the song also ended up in the first installment of the Barbershop movie starring
Oh,
Ice
really?
Cube.
And
So it's,
Latif and Eve. Eve.
yes, Ice Cube and
Yes,
Eve,
I remember
you
that
know.
show,
So I
Barbershop.
was able to pay a few bills. But
Okay.
that money is long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did submit music for the second installment, but no one wanted to see me at that time. Maybe I was a little too old. But I think what worked with that great was the timing because
Mm-hmm.
no one really knows what's going to jump off. But
Mm-hmm.
when B2K jumped off, you couldn't really get on the second project because every top producer wanted to be on the second record, you know. So sometimes it's good to be first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's good. And
Yes.
it's sort of an encouragement for people who are in the music industry to keep writing, keep
Hmm.
submitting. You don't know where your music could end up.
Oh
Once it's
yeah,
out there,
don't stop at all.
yeah, once it's
Yes.
out there,
Hmm.
someone could take it up at any minute, any time, and run with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
really
because
love
another backstory, but I'm happy you said that. Another backstory about the song is that the same A&R that used to be at Jive Records, he had submitted to a group that was signed to Jive Records called Imagine.
it. Mm.
And at the time they got the song, the record company didn't want to spend any more money to add to that project. So it was a little bit disappointing, but I'm happy that that happened because I couldn't foresee that a group like B2K would be interested in recording the song. And then, you know, they went to even be they went to be majorly successful more than the band that was signed to Jive. So sometimes a disappointment may be a blessing in disguise with a few years behind it. You know, sometimes that can happen. And you got to stay in it to win it, you know?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I encourage folks keep doing what you're doing, and you never know when the opportunity will arise. That
Mm.
you know whatever you plant would come to fruition.
You hear that, folks? You got to be in it to win it.
You got to be in
In
it to
it
win
to.
it. Yes.
Mm.
Let's
Yeah.
speak to Toby and Joanna. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello there.
So tell us a bit more about Street Factory. How did it all start and what exactly is it, please, for our viewers watching today?
Okay, we started Street Factory around 14 years ago, and we just went to the end of our street and we started off in our church, and we just basically knew there was a need in our community for people to connect, and me and Toby both love hip hop. So we said, let's do a community session and let's see if it's needed or wanted. And there was over 100 children and families there within a couple of weeks. So we knew there was definitely a need.
Definitely.
And
Yes.
it all stemmed from there. When our community needed more skills from us, we just went and got training. So we found that we needed to do a lot more youth work, training with people with disabilities, mental health, and we've just grown with our community and we use hip hop as the core.
Yeah. Nothing else to say from there. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that just about sums it up. But what exactly does it involve? So if I was coming along to one of your sessions, what actually is it?
I think it depends what sessions you come to. Say if you came to our community session, which is the Saturdays usually that we run, and the community session is all about bringing people together, letting people have fun, letting people really enjoy themselves, letting people actually meet other people, letting people connect, letting people get information if they need any help or anything like that. Just letting people know that there's a community there to support you and you can support them. And that's the importance, I think, on our Saturdays. And that's something that's really important for us to pass on, is the importance that you have a responsibility to your community and your community got responsibility to you. So we both are helping each other. And by doing a dance, doing the music, doing the fun stuff, it makes it really easy for you to join in and be part of it.
Sounds
You
good.
know what? I love your ethos transforming lives so they can exceed their potential and fall in love with their potential. Tell us about that ethos.
Yeah, we believe that everybody we meet, no matter who walks through our door, they're a genius. But many people, due to their lives before they meet us, don't believe that. So it's our job, we believe, in Street Factory to discover your personal genius, because we believe you're so unique. Every person in the world, there's no one like you. So we work with them to discover what they love in life and their passions, and then we encourage them to make that their job. And that's really close to me and Toby's heart, to discover their personal genius.
That is so beautiful. I love the way you get your community together, and folks at the right of your screen, you'll see them in action, mentoring, dancing, bringing the community together in a fun, safe, and really holistic environment.
Yes, we find sometimes as well, it's just talking to people, praising them, telling them how great they are, complimenting them. And a lot of young people and young adults we work with have never received that from people before. And it really builds their confidence. And then when they come to us, some have become international performers. One of our young guys has just won the national title of BBC Young Dancer, which is fantastic. He's been with us for 11 years. And some young people become actual entrepreneurs. They live their dream. They decide what they love in life, and every day they wake up happy. And we always say that life is not a dress rehearsal. So you need to get out there and live your dream and just be happy. It's really important that in your work you're happy. So you wake up every day positive, because every day is a new day.
Oh, that's such a beautiful and really important message. Thank you. I just, we're capturing all these lovely messages that you're sharing with us, Joanna. Can I just ask what ages you work with?
So we work from 0 right up. So there isn't an age limit for us.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we don't specify within age, within anything really. So the beauty about, I think, our company and what we do is we see you as a person, and whoever you are, whatever age you are, wherever you're from, you're just a person who wants to change, who wants to do something, who wants to get involved. And that's just how we see it.
So Joan, Samuel and I could all come to one of your classes then?
Yes,
indeed.
We do adult classes, and they're really popular, really popular.
Yes, and I mean, the beautiful thing is what we believe, that knowledge comes in all shapes and sizes. So if you came to the class and you were like, oh, I don't know anything about hip hop or breaking or anything, I'll be like, okay, one of my little ones is going to teach you. And you'd be like, what? This little 5-year-old is going to teach me. And that's what we truly believe, because he or she has the knowledge and they just got to share it with you. And that's something that's really beautiful, because once, which was really funny, what happened was this really tall guy came in and he wanted to learn. And then I was really busy helping these 2 students. And I said, okay, I'm really busy at the minute, but I have this little one. He knows everything. And you just work with him, he'll teach you. And he just laughed at me. He said, what, this little one? And he was like 6'4", really tall. And this little kid was very, very little. He was only like 7 years old, little child. And he ended up teaching him, which was phenomenal. And that's something that I really enjoy about our company.
That is so beautiful. And here on the TEDx video, what is this about? The TEDx video, what sort of seminar were you all conducting in it?
When we were actually invited to do the TEDx, it was about giving young people and communities hope. So the TEDx was on hope for people and for communities. And it was really important for us, because a lot of the young people and young adults and communities we work with, they say, no one sees my potential. So they define me by maybe the family I was born to, the poverty that I live in, or my beginnings in life, and they can't see past that. So they said to me and Toby, if you ever get in front of a really important audience, please tell my story, be truthful, and let people warm to us and see us. So it was really important for me and Toby to be authentic for our people. So we wrote a poem at the end, which we were allowed to perform, and our dancers performed with us, which was amazing. And it was called See Me. And this poem that we wrote together was on quotes from all the young people and community members we worked with over the 14 years. And it was just their quotes. And the whole audience, there was over 900 people, were all crying. Because at the beginning, I tell you, this is their quotes, and then we perform it. I'm an actress, so I actually acted out the poem, and the dancers danced around me. And every time we do it, the audience are in tears, because it's really real, and it's really important to us to be authentic. Because what we say to the young people is, be you, don't be ashamed of who you are, your roots, be you, be proud of yourself. And me and Toby said, we have to do that on this show. We have to be ourselves, talk the way we talk, be the way we are, dress the way we are. And it was amazing.
It was, definitely.
I totally understand. One of my mottos in life is, I am who I am. I'm intrinsically myself.
Yes.
I am who I am. I'm intrinsically myself. And once you have that ethos in your heart, like what you all are doing, you just show the raw side of you. No pretense, no disguise. You just free up, be yourself, and let people be drawn to you. What you were saying a little while ago, I broke out in goose pimples, because I was hearing and understanding what you are actually doing. And it was moving, very moving and inspirational. Young people, anybody trying to get to one of your classes, is there a website that they could go to? And
we're setting up a website now, because we want it to be really interactive. So we're just literally, that's going to launch in the next month. But what we've got is we've got a Street Factory page on Facebook, and it's every day we're just loading up videos and reflection videos. You can get involved in Toby's free online classes.
Yeah.
So I would say go to Facebook.
The
and find
Facebook is
Street
live,
Factory.
and it's stuff happening on it all the time. And if you want to
What
chat with us, you can contact us.
What is the name of the Facebook page that they
Street
could go
Factory.
to?
Yeah, just
So
Street
Street
Factory.
Factory on Facebook. Everybody, you hear that? Go to Street Factory on Facebook. You follow them, you look them up, and you get involved. You know, like we're in the COVID-19 period, the pandemic period, how has that affected the Street Factory operations? Because, you know, you can't congregate everybody, you know, we just can't get together in the physical sense where we like to dance. And, you know, dance is a sort of social thing.
Yes.
We hang, we dance, we get the vibe off of each other, and then you just start moving to the groove. So how is that affecting, you know, the Street Factory operations at this time?
I think it's really hard for the dancers because we are community, we are family, and that's something that's really important to us. Even not being able to see each other actually physically, I think that's the massive thing that's really difficult for lots of us. But lucky enough, we do have the technology these days that we can use it, and we do communicate on social media, on Zooms, and having group chats, and staying together and staying connected. I think because of it, we do run dance classes where all the dancers and anybody else who would like to get involved gets involved, has fun, then they'll all comment and chat to each other, and they'll all kind of share advice with each other, which is really, really nice that my community is still staying connected through these difficult times.
Thank you, guys. I'm definitely going to check that out. And I love that you're doing live dance videos, because I don't know about anyone else, but I'm starting to feel a little bit sluggish. I'm eating foods I perhaps wouldn't normally eat. I know. And I'm feeling like I need to get moving now.
Under the table. I'm guilty. I'm so guilty. I'm embarrassed. I'm gonna hide a little while you'll talk about that kind of stuff.
So I just wanted to chime in real quick. I liked a quote that Joanna used. Life is not a dress rehearsal. That one stuck out at me. I had to write it down. Is this your personal quote, or can I use it one day?
I just said, it's just something I don't even know if I've heard it, because it just come out one day. We're in a session, and we were saying to the young people that you're the writers of your own play, so write it. Every day, write your own chapters. You're the lead in your story. And then Toby's the lead in his, I'm the lead in mine. So write it. You're bringing all these characters into your life. So write a positive story. And then it came after that. I said, it's not a dress rehearsal. It might be my acting background that I come out with a quote.
No, but this is so true, because in the entertainment field, a lot of times, what you might think is a demo, like, you know, oh yeah, we were just doing this as a demo. Yes. And a couple of years later, it's actually being used as something that really, you know, and then you're like, oh, this was rehearsal. Oh no, this is not rehearsal. This looks really good, you know. Or I may have a vocal that someone recorded it was a rough. Oh yeah, this was just a rough thing, and they eventually use it as like, oh yeah, this rough has some really good things in there. So you know, so this sort of just brings that sort of a idea to me in terms of it. You know, it's not a dress rehearsal. I like that. That's my nugget for the day. Thank you.
This is why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice quote, because I sometimes feel as a creative, you can be a perfectionist and you can put things off, or as you say, Samuel, you do things and it's just like, nah, this is not very good. But actually, to someone else, they're looking at something amazing. Sometimes we underestimate ourselves and our skills.
Yeah.
So, you know, as you said that, some years ago, they had this coral reef restoration project around the world. I don't know if you might have seen it. And I had a keyboard. I'm in the island of Tobago, and I'm teaching there. And my keyboard, the pitch bend on the keyboard decides not to work anymore. So while I'm recording something, the pitch bend kept offsetting the key. Or the key of if you understand what the pitch bend does. So it's not staying where it's supposed to be now. It's every time I'm playing something, it keeps changing the key on me. So I was really upset with the session. And so I had to play some horn sections, and the horn sections were like sharp or flat. Or I was like, this isn't good. But we didn't have much time to sit there and edit and fix and all of that. So I let it go, gave the guy the music. They put it in the video. The video went out in the competition. And then a couple of months later, I'm hearing that the video won. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing won? And I didn't feel comfortable letting that music go at all. And then so the video won, and then I had to go to the press release. I had to go to the to different meet and greets and so on when they were giving the prize to the kids. And I'm like, wow, look at what song brought me here. Something that was off key, something that I wasn't really happy with. But had I not done that, the kids would not have come first in the competition, and all of that would not have been happening. So that's also another thing, like, when you do it, that's it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. It just comes right back to, full circle again, because this was something I wasn't really comfortable. I was like, I don't know. Well, maybe it might fizzle out, Next thing it wins. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then everyone at the thing is saying, oh, you did a great job. Great job. I love the music. I was like, okay.
So Samuel, I'm just wondering where it all started, because you've got a lot of credits, a lot of strings to your bow. Some of the TV shows we mentioned, they all happen to be my favorite type of programs, by the way. Millionaire Matchmaker, the property shows are my favorite. But where did it all begin? How did you get into songwriting and producing?
Okay, so it's a little, it's different angles. I used to live in New York initially. I live in Delaware now. So a lot of my clientele would be in the New York area. So folks would be doing independent recordings. So that would be my start of producing records. And then I would move around, and people in the same industry, you start rubbing shoulders with some of the same people. One of my main entries into the major industry aspect was a production team called Trackmasters. And Trackmasters had produced people like Heavy D, Chub Rock, Horace Brown. I hope I'm not calling names that are too far out.
Yeah,
but people like Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, we know them.
Okay, so we're talking about like the early 90s. People like, and eventually people like Notorious B.I.G. and so on. So I was not a track master, but I was a musician within the realm of things, so in the team. So once a couple of the records, they will have me come and do some keyboards. So I was able to see the other side of the industry. So that was one aspect of it. So now you understood that you had to meet with A&Rs, you had to meet with record executives, and there'll be events that you need to go to and network, and have your business card with you. You got to be like the fastest gun in the West kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then so for the TV situation, I also wanted to get into film because I was classically trained. So a lot of the music I can do is very orchestrational. So, a lot of films were coming out. I'm like, I'd like to see how I can get involved. So I had to do some research. And one of the ways was to start joining music libraries. And there were certain film music companies online. Online was pretty new as well. It was like a new experience to, sort of going to an event somewhere. You're going to join this website and subscribe and pay maybe $10 a month or something. And what they would do is send you leads, and now you have to take these leads and try to create a relationship with either the music supervisor or the film producer. So there's a couple of independent films, like short films, that I've worked on where, I had to try to create a relationship with the film director or create a relationship with the producer, and then your name would start moving around. Oh yeah, well, we worked with this guy on this project over here, so you get a call from someone else on something else, in another situation. But eventually, all roads led me to start joining music libraries. So I had joined about three in the early 2000s, and I think at that time, when you're hungry and you have the passion, the kind of music you create at that time, it's really. I don't even think I could do music like that again. I mean, it's just like I was on something. It wasn't weed, but it was something. And so I had this like burst of music that I did. I did like about five full CDs of different mood type music. So I'll have one where it's very orchestrational. I have some where it's dancing, some where it's you want to sleep, some you want to make love, some you want to, so it would fit different types of scenes. And then I just sent the CDs out to the libraries. And, at that time, I had just got some of that B2K money at the time, too. So that also helped me get, proper equipment. But, the money's finished. Don't ask me for money now. But I was able to get some good quality stuff, understand the technology a little bit better. And because of the quality, I think a lot of the music supervisors were like, let's grab onto this guy. And the music supervisors that they catered to those shows. So I don't remember all of them by heart right now. I'm having a coffee moment, but those TV shows like Matchmaker, I know Property Ladder was one of them. Um, uh, Flip This House, and there was another one, Date, something where you go on a date, or Blind Date, or something like that, or Little People. And so that was sort of like the start of getting, and then I would realize that certain clips would be used again. Like, one supervisor would use it for this, and then a supervisor from left field would gravitate to the same piece of music because it would work for another scene and another show. Totally different show, totally different network. So you can actually look at what folks gravitate to if you want to have a little strategy as to how you're going to put your music library together, or the selections that you're going to send to the music library, and then they just list it, and then the supervisors and I think it's less threatening for the supervisor, because the supervisor don't want to be seeing composers all day. Hey, I have some music, could you so they want to be able, at their own pace, go to go to either a website, or they would go to a certain situation, and then now they can flip through and listen to what they think would work for the production that they're doing. And one time I saw the survey, because I'm with ASCAP, so ASCAP will send me the survey as to where the music was used. And then so I saw this one where Oprah has this episode that she does called Oprah's Giveaways. And then I realized that one of my music went on that episode. It was a few seconds, it wasn't a long piece. It was like a little something. But that little piece of music, helped me pay some light bills, and some and put some milk on the table and things. So it's just you just have to be in it to win it,
Yep.
So.
But what you're also failing to understand, viewers, that Samuel also was a dancer, a hip hop dancer, a street dancer. And this is where Toby and Joanna and Samuel, they joined in the form of dance and music.
Yes. Dancing was
So you're
definitely
understanding what Joanna and Toby is going through with the dancing and getting
yes.
involved and stuff. Tell us, Joanna, ask him. I think Toby and Joanne, just go bombard him with questions right now. We're not gonna listen. You terrorize him and sort him out on the dance floor. Go on,
That's
girls.
not nice. I don't dance
Come
like that
on.
anymore. So in the early 80s, breakdance was in Trinidad and Tobago. So it was just, I was, how old was I? 13 or 12 or 11, around there. And it's the thing all the kids wanted to do, We used to see shows like Solid Gold, and I know I'm going way back here, but one night we saw I forgot the name of the dance group, but I think it was like a New York City, and they were different dances. No, it wasn't really called breakdance initially. I think it was called I think we call it popping, or what do let me ask Toby, what did they call it before breakdance? It was like a street term we would use.
Popping and locking.
Popping,
Yeah,
was it popping and locking?
Popping and locking was one of the first kind of names that started going around, I think.
Yeah, because
I think b-boying is something that
B
developed.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, B-boy came a little bit. I don't know if it was like a little bit. Well, for me, because I'm in the Caribbean getting the stuff, so it's not like I'm in the Bronx or I'm in Brooklyn getting it live. So I think it was like popping on, because then what ended up happening is that breakdance went a whole other way, and then you had people that were still popping and locking doing another kind of dance. And then who didn't see Michael Jackson do it on Motown 25? I mean, when MJ did the moonwalk on Motown 25, I mean, we were all just doing moonwalk the next. We like, let's try to get this. The guy looked supernatural. It's like, what was that move?
Moonwalk.
He
The
moonwalked.
moonwalk.
Yeah, it was. Geez, I mean, then it was just crazy. So it was interesting to see both, but I really stayed on the breakdance side of things.
Yeah.
But
Toby and Joanna, when did y'all start doing hip hop dancing? Like individual, when did y'all begin doing hip hop dancing before Street Factory came into play?
Yeah, I think for
How
me
did
as
you
a
get
child,
started?
yeah, I think for me as a child, it wasn't my family, because my older sister and my older brother went to hip hop. So hip hop music was really big in our family, but because of our Romani Gypsy background, we had to kind of keep it quiet, because you weren't allowed to play certain types of music at home. Do you know what I mean? So we would play when we were out, or our parents were out, and then we would listen to the music and stuff like that. MJ was big in the house. Then we had Tupac and Biggie. And then all the other music started coming in. And I think from a child, I was kind of exposed to it. And to me, it was so natural. And it felt so good. I just fall in love with it. And to me, probably 6, maybe 5, I remember just listening to that music and thinking, oh, this is so good. It just makes you feel good. And I think from then I just fall in love with it and never looked back since, I think. And then from them I only progressed and learned more about the culture, the movement, the whole thing, how it started and where it is and where it could go. And I think that was my journey.
Yeah, for me,
What about
so my background, I'm an actress, and my training in dance was actually tap, ballet, modern. So it was a totally different training. But hip hop was like my life. So if we all went out in the weekends, I'd always end up in a hip hop club. That was the music that I listened to. That was the books that I read. So hip hop was like my thing. It was more of my lifestyle, the music that I love. I love the fashion. Always loved the fashion. It really excites me. And the way that hip hop, like me and Toby always says, it adapts. So everyone can be hip hop. If you're 80 years old, 2 years old, if you've got really loads of money, if you've got no money, it's all irrelevant. And no matter what religion you're from, no matter what, you can just walk into our venue or any venue. If you're hip hop, it's like there's this big community worldwide, and it's about everyone and anyone, and that really excites me.
So Joanna was the real. You ever saw the breakdance movie, the first one?
Yes.
Step Up.
So she was the real
the
life.
Remind me of Step Up.
Right.
They're like a couple in
you're
Step
the real
Up
life.
movie.
I forgot the girl's name in the character in the movie, because she did modern dance and so on.
Yeah.
The ballet and
then
modern
she
dance and
falls
mix it
in
with
love
the hip hop.
she falls in
Yeah,
love with break
yeah.
dancing.
Yes.
Yeah. That's you, huh? Okay. We need to talk to Toby about that.
I think
Did
Samuel, you should be doing a film, hooking the two of them up, doing a film on them and their love on the dance floor. Yeah. You do the music score and film directing, and we just throw in Toby and Joanna and the whole crew, and you do a next version of the dance. Yeah. This is a new movie coming out. You see, I'm I'm instigating this.
She's a visionary over there. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Well, it's something to think
I'm
about.
instigating.
It's something to
Yeah.
think about. But I was going to ask Joanna, did when you decided now, was there an issue when you went into breakdance, or did you have people, or maybe authorities saying, "Hey, why are you getting with this? Because you're this type of a dancer, or you had this
I've never had
training,
that.
or?"
No, I mean, I
Oh,
spent a lot
okay.
of time in America as well. So a part of my training was to be in America. So I went
Hmm.
to Los Angeles for a couple of months, and I went to New York, and I worked in the Bronx as well. And I was welcomed there. And again, I think it's that thing about hip hop that it's for anyone. And my
Hmm.
family and
Hmm.
my circle always knew that that's something that I loved, and they were happy
Mm.
about that. So it was
Okay.
funny when I arrived in America because they were saying to me that they thought I was going to turn up with a French plait and a tweed suit, and they asked me if I knew the Queen, and I was like, no, I don't know the Queen, and I'm here because I love hip hop, and they're really surprised by that. But as soon as I said that, it was just fine. It was great straight away. So
Okay, okay. That's what around what year you were in New York area?
it
Did
was a
did you go
long
to New
time.
York, or were you just pretty much on LA?
New York was the place that I felt at home. I've got to
Okay.
say that I've travelled a lot, but New York, I cried all the way home. I didn't want to leave. I've never felt so
Oh.
at home in my life. And the fashion, and I used to walk along the street and people would just be jamming, and there was hip hop in the real sort of nightlife, the hip hop clubs.
Hmm.
I've had some great experiences, and I just didn't want to leave. And I loved the New York people. I just thought they were just so real, and I loved that. I really, really love America. Somewhere I've always wanted to. I always say to Toby, I'd love to live in America, take our children, but they're all the same. Like our son's a rapper, our other son's an
Hmm.
actor. All our children perform, and they're all like, "Why can't we go to high school in America? We want to live in America." Yeah,
Okay,
So
okay.
each, I'm
yeah.
going to throw a question out to each and every one of you. How did COVID-19 affect your lives?
Well, for
Career,
me, I'm really
individual life.
close to my mum, like really close to my mum, and she only lives a few doors away. And that just to me, like we see her every day, don't we? And my children are really struggling with not seeing their family. So yes, you FaceTime, but it's the physical contact of like hugging.
Yeah.
We've really struggled with that, but we've tried to get through it through FaceTime and calling people. But that's been our biggest struggle as a family, I would say. We love people, and we're like we want to hug our people and see our people.
Yeah. I think we're very connective with our community, with our people, and I think not having that, it's a big thing that we miss.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
And Samuel, what about you?
It's a little different for me. I mean, I may have a longer, what's the word? Not stamina. Stamina is not the word I wanted. When I wake up, I'll remember the word. But I may be able to endure a little bit more because I'm self-employed and I pretty much work from home. So um, it's somewhat up my alley. But the times when I actually go out, like for example, being a music minister at a church. We do have rehearsal nights. We do have, service over the weekend. And so that was something that would sort of break the monotony for me. So unfortunately, the last month, I haven't been going to the rehearsals or going to the services. So that didn't break the monotony. So then that's the part that's kind of like messing my whole vibe up in terms of being on the inside and regulating how I go out, and you gotta now. I think I'm pretty good on hygiene, but you just have to step it up more than you really had it from before. So now I gotta keep the sanitizer going. I gotta put something on when you go to the grocery because you want to keep your bolus to yourself
Mm.
and you don't want no bowlers coming to you. So it's
Yeah.
a whole new vibe, a whole new practice. Um, I don't know where this is leading. If this is how life is going to be from now on, or will it be something that we get over and we can get back into hugging and handshaking and that again. So I'm hoping for the best, but you know it's it's a crazy time.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
certainly have had
I
to learn new habits, haven't we? And I was wondering how we're all going to feel after this is, eventually over, if we'll be taking some of these new habits forward. I probably will be, I think I might be stuck for a little while in this mindset, and it will take a little while to get used to things again. Do you know what I mean? Or it could be a whole new normal. We just don't know. But I'm just wondering, have you guys learned anything from this experience? Is there anything positive that you're taking away?
I think for us as a family, I think there's something maybe lots of families might experience. It's that extra time with your children, extra time with your partner. I'm enjoying that. I think that's a gift. I think that we've been given in a way in this hard times, that I have that pleasure and opportunity to spend more time, to do more things, to have more fun, because sometimes life and work takes over, and then things just got to get on. But this way, I think we have got that little gift where we get to spend that more time, and I think that's really precious for me.
Yeah, I think as well through Street Factory, we've had people, there's been a bigger reach for us. So there's been some people who say, I love what you do, but I haven't been able to access your classes. I can't get out of my house, or my children are maybe asleep at that time of night. And in their front rooms, they've done our classes. And one lady said to us, I've sat in a chair and I've actually done your whole class because she struggles with standing up. So I think we would continue the virtual side of it alongside our big
Definitely.
community sessions, because there's people at home, we've realised, that really need that, us at home with them. And I think that's one thing that we will continue after this.
Yes.
Well, for me, I just realized that no matter how much you plan, you really aren't in charge of anything. I had a friend that he's really good with his hand. He does all these arts and crafts. And he was making earrings, but these are creative earrings. And he was jokingly calling his the products, the earrings that he was making, he was calling them one of a kind, because he was not planning to make two of the same thing. And I just not too long released this book, so we were actually planning to get a booth at the Essence Awards. That was going to be, I think, either in May or June of this year. And the whole COVID thing just threw everything in whack. So it's sort of like you can be planning all what you want to plan. Sometimes life will just have something else it's going to throw in your way that you have to deal with. And having something else thrown in your way is not really an issue or a problem, but how you respond to it and how you bounce back is really the key to improving your whole character. The experience is really interesting for me. I wonder if our leaders took the information differently, if we would be having the type of catastrophe deaths that we're having right now, or the illnesses. So that's just something you think about, but that's already gone. So what are you going to do? Are you going to crawl up in a corner and cry and die, or you just going what are you going to do? So all of these are things that I'm forced to think about, to consider, to look at, and really learn from it. It's a whole learning experience, and yeah, families is I had a few close uh, relatives and family that have passed on in the last 3 weeks in New York. They live in the New York area, and so I've never sent so many condolences in a month like this. It's just so all of these things it's a whole new thing for me. So I'm watching, learning, observing, and seeing how I can stay healthy, um, stay on top of the game through it, and hope for the best for everyone, and for all of you on the show right now.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I like what every one of y'all are saying. Y'all are doing something a bit differently, and it's like Emily and I came together on this show. We've never met each other, And as a result of the pandemic diary, we came together and we're meeting all you lovely people with different experiences, and it's helping to enrich our lives. And it's also breaking up the monotony I would have had to experience being home alone, because I live at home alone. And a few of you are not aware of, but at the moment, I'm actually disabled. Um, I have mobility problems and I had to have surgery on my knee. So it's even more stressful for me. I'm in pain and all kinds of stuff. And so I try and get as much things done while I
Hmm. Hmm.
recover during
Okay.
the COVID-19. All my physiotherapy classes have been canceled. So I'm stuck having to just get on by with crutches, which you're on, which I've hit pretty well. But
Oh,
one of the things about COVID-19, I really, really find it a pleasure talking to everybody and interacting from my place at home, going through whatever I'm going through, and I'm not going through it alone. You all are keeping me busy and
mhm.
keeping me, connected to the rest of the world. And I thank every one of you for that, including my co-host. Thank you so much for it. Mhm.
Oh.
Thank
I
you.
feel bad about the joke now with the one where you have the exercise machine one, you know.
Oh no, it's just like, well,
I feel
I
so
still
bad
have
about the
one.
joke.
It's all right. It's all right. One of these days I'll be able to go back on it. I did go on it. I have gone
Uh,
on it once to do the balance
okay.
scale like that. The physio
Okay.
previously before the COVID told me go on the bike. You have one, just balance like a scale to get the knee moving. Yeah. And so I have gone on, but it's not the cycling and the robot, the robust thing
Hmm.
I would have done if I was able to do so. And I have
Okay.
to rely on people to do my grocery shopping and all kinds of stuff. And
That's
one of the
tough.
persons who did it for me ended up with COVID-19. So this month I haven't done any grocery shopping. I don't know where and who's going to rescue me. So I'm just throwing it out there. Who is going to rescue me this month? I need my grocery shopping.
Emily might stop by and help you out.
She's all the way in North Cumberland. I'm in London. We are two different ends of England.
Yeah, yeah, 100
I'm gonna
miles
have to.
away.
Oh
I'm gonna
man,
call around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call around to get some help.
there might be
Yes,
delivery service, you know.
There will be someone to help you. And I think that's really
I
another
agree.
positive thing about this time is people coming together and people helping in communities. I've seen a lot of love in my own community, which, to be honest, sometimes it doesn't feel like a very loving place. But it's really highlighted the amazing people that live here. What's it been like where you are, Samuel, and also down in Plymouth as well?
Oh, I mean, what it is like here? How
Yeah,
um.
with the community spirit.
Mhm.
Well, the area I'm in, most folks sort of kind of stay to themselves. You know, we're not chummy chummy, um, and I think it has to do with the times. You know, and how close you are to a metro area. So I do have neighbors. We do see each other. We give each other the "Hey, how you doing?" You know, and then it's like a really quick hello. In terms of since the Corona thing has been happening, um, it's been a lot less going on. You know, not much is so unless you're an essential person that needs to be out there, they're just asking folks to just pretty much be inside. And I'm a black man in America. I ain't trying to tussle with no officers anywhere. So I'm staying clear.
Doors closed, windows closed.
Okay, hands
I
up.
don't need to tussle with anyone. You know, the other folks get through well. I'm just not that lucky.
Yeah.
So I just comply with most, not all, but most of what uh, they're asking for out there. And but I mean, in terms of if you're going to interact, you know, it's not tough. It's not like, okay, you know, people are like so closed off. You know, one of the good things is being from the Caribbean. Um, you may have patriotic Caribbean folks, so they may wear, a Jamaican something, or they may have a Trini earring, or they may have something. So when you see it, um, you can kind of walk up to them and say, "Ah, I see. Where you from?" You know, something like that. and we could just start a little conversation. You mightn't even know who the person is, but because that they're wearing a certain color, or there's something that identifies, it might be a Bajan flag or a Jamaican flag or a Guyanese flag or a Trini flag or a Grenadian. You just interact for a couple minutes or a couple seconds and keep it moving. So that's kind of like how the energy here is.
Okay. And what about Joan and Toby? Have you noticed anything, any differences, any changes where you live?
I think for us in Plymouth, there's been a lot of community spirit. There's been a lot of people now collecting food for families, putting up just posters or just live videos saying, if you need help, get hold of us. People are really trying to help. That's what I'm finding.
Yeah, I think there's a big community spirit within our city. Lots of people that have different businesses, they change their way they do the business just to help the community. So we had a local pub that now changed into more of a grocery store, kind of where they're selling and delivering food now. So everyone's kind of trying to adapt to help the community, to assist our community as much as we can. And I think that's really lovely for us to see that this is actually happening in our city.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. In my area, everybody's quiet. They cross the street. They wouldn't say hi.
Yeah.
It's London, and that's what happens in dense populated. Everybody's afraid of catching something, so they'll cross the road. I don't mind because it gives me free time to just hobble along the pavement.
Yeah.
And in closing, we're about to wrap up at this moment, but in closing, I'd like to thank everybody for being here and sharing their experiences with us. We've got our producer in the background, Mukul, who's been keeping this show and engine running every day, Monday to Friday. We thank him so much. And we thank my fellow host, Emily Blake, and she's going to close off. You know what? You're the one in charge today. I'm going to stay quiet. I'm done enough. I'm going to let her do the wrapping up today. It's her day.
So just before we go, we've got a few minutes left. I'd like to ask our guests if they have any final messages for the viewers, for you, the viewers watching. Samuel, if you have a message to share with us, something you really want our viewers to take from today, what would that be?
Oh.
Pressure's on.
I was just going to say, I forgot to mention that the animals seem to be taking notice that the humans aren't really out there like that. I do have a couple of rabbits in the backyard, just very bravely coming out and saying hi, and some places, the animals are just like, where are the people? What's going on? The animals are very curious. But in terms of sharing something to the viewers, if you have a dream, go for it, and you got to be in it to win it. You can't be in there halfway. It's either you're hot, or you're cold. The middle ground, it's kind of tough trying to be in the middle. So if you have something, believe in yourself and just go for it. Don't do the swim back. There's a film called Galactica, I think, with Ethan Hawke and I forgot the sister's name. And he's living in this society. You guys know the movie, by the way? The movie called Galactica? Yeah, and they're living in the future, and now they can determine how you're going to have a child, and if they're going to be bald, they can fix that, and if they're going to have some heart deficiency, they can fix it in the beginning. And so Ethan Hawke plays this character that he was born from the previous system of just life being life. And so not to give the film away, but in the end, there's a part that I really like about the movie. They have this thing that they would do where they'll go and they'll swim out, and whoever has to swim back first is chicken, And so they do this thing in the end of the film, and then Ethan's character says to the brother, he says, "This is how I made it. I never left any room for the swim back. He just kept going forward." And I just thought that was like a really good takeaway for just to apply to life. Folks talk about, well, you got to have a backup plan. Well, it's okay to have a sideshow, but the plan that you really want to do should be the real plan, because what happens is you create the backup plan and then you end up using the backup plan.
I'm just doing my preach hands for you right
Hallelujah,
now. Yes.
hallelujah.
Tell them.
So, whatever the backup plan is, that needs to be the sideshow mentally. And whatever it is you want to pursue should be the plan. That should be the main thing. So that's what I'm going to share with the viewers, and they can take that away.
Thank you. Just quickly, Joe and Toby, any last words? Because we are.
For me, I would just like to say peace and love to everybody. Live your best life and just be you, because you're amazing. And check us out on Street Factory on Facebook. We'd love to connect with you. Message us, get in touch. We'd love to connect.
What I would add to it is, like Joe mentioned before, be yourself, be original. And like you mentioned earlier, if you have a dream, go chase it. Go get that dream. It's yours. Go get it.
Wonderful. Keep chasing your dreams. Don't swim back. Got to be in it to win it. Such brilliant messages today. Thank you so much, Samuel Archer from the USA. Thank you, Joe and Toby,
Thanks for
joining us
having me.
from Plymouth.
Thank you
guys.
Thank you
Peace
guys.
and love.
Bye.
Thank you.
We'll catch you again
Be
soon.
safe. Be safe.